What's up, guys? Raziel here. And before we get started with the intro, I just wanted to make sure everybody is staying safe. I know these times can be quite trying, and the world is very messed up right now. And I wanted to, first and foremost, tell everybody to please take care of yourselves. Practice social distancing. No, this isn't a joke. I recently had a guy that I used to play games with, mainly Division 1 back in the day. He was part of our clan, an admin in our blacklist clan, and he passed away recently from the COVID-19 virus, and he was 39 years old. Had complications, had some underlying health issues, but yeah, it's not a joke, guys. So please take care of yourselves, and rip in peace, Sly Cat. That's all I wanted to say. So anyway, let's move on with the video, which is about, God forbid, World of Warcraft.
I am Raziel.
All right, guys, so World of Warcraft Shadowlands is around the corner, and you may be asking, Raz, why the fuck are you making a video about a game you don't even play and don't even like? Well, I'll tell you. If you're unfamiliar, this YouTube channel actually started as a World of Warcraft Death Knight channel. I've played World of Warcraft for 15 years, off and on. I didn't really fully quit until I haven't played since Nighthold in Legion. And so I wanted to talk about this because I kind of had a feeling this would happen because of the success Blizzard gained from World of Warcraft Classic. So let's talk about it. I'm going to be blunt. I'm going to be honest. Something Blizzard tends to not do, which is why I'm very skeptical about everything that's coming out in this hype train for Shadowlands. Is all over my YouTube feed. So I thought I'd weigh in on it, since this is an MMORPG focused channel and I have a lot of experience with World of Warcraft. So let's go into it. First and foremost, when I say Blizzard, from this point on, I'm referring to the company that made StarCraft 1, Diablo 1, Diablo 2, World of Warcraft, Burning Crusade, and the majority of Wrath of the Lich King. Warcraft 1 and 2 and 3, right? In the past, Blizzard, they very rarely made bad decisions, and almost never had bad ideas, and never executed a good idea poorly. It was very, very rare when they would do that. And ever since the acquisition of Blizzard by Activision, that's changed dramatically. The old weight of Blizzard quality, which used to mean a lot, that saying used to mean quite a bit, is long gone. There's no weight or value behind a statement like that anymore. So what we've seen since about midway through Wrath and all the way through every WoW expansion are bad ideas, just bad ideas, like terrible ideas being put into games, being made into games, from Activision Blizzard, and even bad ideas executed badly, poor ideas executed poorly, if you will. So it's kind of interesting to see that Activision Blizzard, I think, has finally realized that Shadowlands is their last fucking chance with the vast majority of their player base. Let's give some examples of how they've shot themselves in the dick, figuratively, over the last few years. The absolute blunder and failure of almost every expansion, with, some exceptions here and there, since after Wrath of the Lich King. Big ones being the current one, Battle for Azeroth, which I haven't played at all, and of course, Warlords of Draenor being the big sore thumbs sticking out. Also, the release and launch and general lifespan of Diablo 3, been a shit show. The announcement and planning for Diablo Immortal. Oh, fuck me running, man. I still can't believe that even exists. Does it? Has it even been released yet? I don't know. The abandoning of their Heroes of the Storm game. The Warcraft 3 Reforged, or whatever the fuck that was supposed to be. That whole mess that came out. The fact that Activision separated from their IP of Destiny. So really right now, the only thing that makes Activision a lot of money, aside from their mobile games like Candy Crush and shit like that, is the Call of Duty franchise and World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft was literally dying. I mean, they were in the coffin with nails nailed down up until Classic released. And I think Classic opened some eyes because a lot of people came back to the game. I even went back and played for like 50 levels until the nostalgia wore off for Classic World of Warcraft. Because Classic was a great game. You know, it's quite dated, but it was, how it was designed was more towards what MMO should be. So with Shadowlands, if you saw my old video that I said Shadowlands was going to be shit, and I still stand by that statement. I still don't think Blizzard's going to be able to pull it off because it's Activision Blizzard now and not old Blizzard. But a couple of the things I mentioned in what would it take to make Shadowbringers a good game, it looks like they're doing. Now, one of the biggest things that sucks about BFAs, sucked about Legion, you know, and all that other stuff, hasn't been delved out yet, but they've referenced that they're completely changing their loot system and gear system for Shadowlands. As you can see right here, right? Where does it say it here? I'll show you. So you say they're digging into itemization. One of the biggest things that and again, I'll put both these links of the pages I'm looking at in the description below. But you'll see that they're saying that they're changing everything. With all this information is coming with the alpha for Shadowlands that's releasing in the next week. Okay. Now, I want to get to some stuff that made the eyebrow pick up. First is where they say the changes to PvP. I think that's down here somewhere. No, I can't remember where it is on here, but essentially they're doing what I said they should do, which is bringing back Conquest as a currency, bringing back PvP vendors, and you can buy PvP gear, and then also use the PvP currency Conquest points to upgrade the gear you already have once you have all the gear. Something that should have never been taken out of the game. I hope they bring back tier sets. I don't think they will. But yeah, it's right here, the PvP. Conquest is coming back. Okay, they've actually taken a nod from Final Fantasy XIV, and they're finally differentiating between, you can tell the difference between something that's a main story quest and just a side quest and a daily quest. Other than just a color, you can actually get a symbol and know what quest you're going on. Okay, great. You're going to be able to mark targets on a map for your party members. Add-ons already provided a lot of this functionality, but they're building it into the game. Okay, great. Now, I only ever played hardcore. I mean, back in Vanilla WoW, I played a warrior through the entire first launch in 2004. In Burning Crusade, I played a warrior and a warlock. And then Wrath of the Lich King, I was the first level 80 warrior on my server, and then immediately switched to Death Knight, and I played a Death Knight ever since, occasionally fucking around with warrior and warlock, but mainly Death Knight. That's all I played. Tank, Blood, Death Knight. Okay? So, they're adding, for all the classes here, and I'm not going to go into details on every class, you can read it yourself. They're adding back in a lot of the spells they took out of the game, because keep in mind, it's been a long time since a new ability has been added to any class in the game. I think for most classes, it's an actual whole new ability that's never been in the game before. It's been since Mists of Pandaria, for fuck's sake. Now you look at Death Knight. Okay, so a lot of stuff's coming back. Anti-magic zone is no longer just a PvP talent. You just get it. Great, we've been asking for that shit forever back when I was still playing. Lichborn's coming back. Every Death Knight gets to have a pet now again. Chains of Ice coming back to all specs. And look, they're adding a new ability. They're adding new abilities to the game. Rune Tap, Blood Tap, or old abilities coming back, becoming baseline for Blood. Relish in Blood's a new ability. Frost is getting some new abilities. See? Hypothermic Presence. Unholy's getting new abilities. Dreadblade. Epidemic. Okay? And this is happening for all the classes. So they're bringing back a bunch of shit, like for Hunters, Eyes of the Beast, for example. Bringing back a bunch of shit they took out. Some of the stuff I could see why they took out. Other stuff I'm like, that was retarded. Why'd you take it out? And in my opinion, one of the biggest things that killed WoW for me, outside of the fact that it's run by a communist regime, is the fact that all the classes felt so homogenized. So samey. No real flavor. Legion brought back a little flavor, but it was not brought back to the actual class. It was brought back through an artificial means, the weapon, the artifact weapon. Now, one thing they haven't talked about yet, because I keep my eye on all MMORPG news, right? And this thing, if it's not changed, in my opinion, from the other expansions, Shadowlands stands no chance, no hope of revival. And that's that they add in another artifact power type of system. We had it in Legion, it burned me out, burned a lot of people out, and it was essentially pointless because eventually everybody got everything anyway. And apparently it was there through all BFA and even got worse. If they're going to do a legendary of any kind in this expansion, it can't be like it was in Legion. And I don't like the system too, where like they did it in Mists of Pandaria, and apparently they've done it in BFA, where everyone gets a legendary cloak or a legendary neck or a legendary one thing. Everyone has it, because then that pigeonholes everybody into just constantly leveling up and grinding out that one legendary that isn't a legendary because everyone fucking has it. In fact, you have to have it if you want to do end game content, and find groups. I think that's fucking stupid. And we don't have any word yet if a system like that is going to be in the game. So anyway, guys, do you agree that this so far looks like a good direction to go into? Regardless of what direction they go in, are you never going back to WoW? I don't plan on it. In fact, I plan on, I'm in the beta for the New World, the Amazon MMORPG, and I will be streaming that, as well as covering it extensively if it's good. If it's bad, I'll tell you guys it's bad, that I think it's bad and the reasons why in a video, and then fuck off and do something else. But are you of the opinion, do you share the opinion that this expansion is ActiBlizz's last fucking chance to keep people in WoW? Because we already know that they're making a Burning Crusade Classic, which I fucking called it. They're gonna make Burning Crusade Classic servers and whatever. Even though Burning Crusade, in my opinion, was the best WoW ever was. It's in the past. It's nostalgia. I got my nostalgia kick when I played Classic, and I had some fun for the first 50 levels. And when it sinks in that you're just looking through everything through nostalgic glasses, and everything's rose tinted, and it's just, and then it wears off, and you realize I've done this all before. This content's very finite. I lost all interest. Maybe you haven't. Maybe you're still playing. But I thought I should cover this because this channel originally started as a WoW channel, and we're seeing small hints that what they've done in the past isn't fucking working anymore. Is finally, that idea is finally sinking through their thick fucking skulls over there, that communist regime, and they're finally figuring out that, hey, maybe we should look at Classic WoW, why people like that, and bring some of that shit back. Maybe this is the first sign they're actually finally starting to get it. I doubt it, but I just want to put that out there. Anyway, guys, thanks so much. That's been my pretty much my video about Shadowlands. I know there's a lot of YouTube content creators hyping it up a lot, and they're avid WoW players. Good on them, whatever. I haven't really been playing a lot of MMOs recently. Kind of been burned out, been playing other games, and Final Fantasy VII Remake comes out in a couple days, so I'm going to know the shit out of that, as well as I've been fucking around with people on my guild that we play a bunch of different games online together. Just, one and done, in and out type of games. I'm still heavily waiting for New World and, the next MMO to really grab my attention, but I keep my eye on all MMO news. So anyway, guys, enough babbling, rambling, my bullshit. What do you guys think of Shadowlands and what, as you can see in the links below, you can read through all the notes yourself. What do you think of these alpha notes? Do you think it's a good sign, a bad sign? Do you think it's more lies? I want to know. Anyway, guys, come see me on Twitch. Again, I don't have a set stream schedule, but remember, every week I am posting an episode of my discussion podcast where we discuss all things about MMOs in the R&R D&D. We're up to episode 6 now. This week's episode 7, but we may delay it till next week. But we live stream that every time we have a guest. Usually he may become a regular, Josh Strife Hayes, who comes and chats with us as well. Another huge, great MMO content creator. You should check him out. But anyway, guys, enough rambling. As always, my friends, keep it real.